Hello, hello, welcome back to Critsy Bear, trying really hard not to swear or make dumb voices, but failing ultimately. Welcome to Sorcery. I mean, you clicked on the video, I really probably don't need to... Oh, hey, my cat caught a mouse. Yep. Hang on. Shucks, it's not being picked up. I thought you would be able to hear her screaming. Yeah, my cat has been catching mice like crazy. We recently cleaned out the garage, right? And there was like a whole colony of like wild mice out there. Not like house mice, like they like not the kind that like gets into your rice and stuff or whatever mice get into. They were like wild mice, probably living off the same stuff that we feed our chickens or something. Right? And because we cleaned out the garage, they all went into the house. And now every night my cat has been catching a mouse. Half the time she doesn't bother to kill them, so probably catching the same mouse repeatedly. But anyway, back to game. Head up the waterfall, which cascades forcefully into a deep pool. You strip off all your clothes. All right, well. So Witcher all over again, just being asserted into taking off my clothes. While Jan flitters through the froth, the cool water is fresh and invigorating, and you feel yourself getting rapidly better. You feel a huge swell of confidence. Coming here was the best decision you've made. Yeah, wait, this water cures diseases. But wait, this water cures diseases? Something about this seems terribly important. Where does it come from? Where does it come from, this water? How is such a thing possible? Looking up at the sheer cliff face, you make out nothing beyond but a slight shadow hovering at the very edge of the precipice, like a gigantic spider waiting to jump. Whatever it is, it must be a place of great power to be sought out. Or a place to be avoided as one might avoid the plague. Nope. I don't want that ending. No, sir. Wait, this water cures diseases? People should be told about this. The villagers up on the lonely mountain, ravaged by plague, they should be brought here. They can be saved. But it is late already. The walk back to the plague village will lose you a day, maybe more. And the trip, with this place so close, they must know of it. Perhaps their symptoms are too serious to be healed? Start walking, send someone else. Start walking. If you sent someone else, they might not do it. Shouldering your pack, you begin the long journey. The long, weary journey back to the village of the plague. You're really doing this, aren't you? Jan hisses in your ear. You're crazy! You ignore the small creature's complaints. Wonder if I could have sent Jan. Walking all the way back, man. All through the night. After an hour, you are within sight of the rise up to the village. Jan is hopping mad. Where are you going? I thought you were on a mission. This is important. Sure it is, Jan replies grumpily. So is sleep. You say nothing and keep walking. A few minutes after, Jan pipes up again. All right. What is it now? Jan shakes his head, leaping up from your shoulder, to flitter infuriatingly right in front of your face. Oh, irritatingly, whatever. Listen to me. You can't go. I won't let you. Why not? Because I'll go for you. Minimites can't catch the plague, so there's no risk. And I can fly faster than you. And if I save a whole village, I'm bound to find someone who will look after me properly. He looks at you, expecting you to argue. Come with me? More adventure? Come with me. Jan shakes his head. You don't want my company. Trust me. Then he turns and with a buzzing sound flits away into the dark. You are alone once more. Now, you know what? If I can't go, I'm gonna go ahead and say thank you, yeah? Yo, Jan's... I feel a tickle in my throat. I'm getting emotional because of Jan's sacrifice. Well, not sacrifice. Jan's heroic deed. This is important. Alright. What is it now? Why not? Because I'll go for you. Thank you, Jan. It's the right thing to do. He then turns around, buzzing... He then turns, and with a buzzing sound, Slound flits away into the dark. You are alone once more. The villagers should be in safe hand, but you cannot stay to receive their thanks. It is time to find some sleep. With luck, you will reach Carre by tomorrow. Nice, dude. Alright, sleep outside the town. Oh, actually, I can go back to the inn. Neat. Make your way out of the village into a stand of tall, dry trees under the overhanging of one of the cruel mountainsides. Between curling roots, you find a small place to settle down to rest. You are tired enough to feel your eyelids drooping, but hungry from not having eaten. Yeah, I got plenty of rations. Actually, hang on, my stamina. Shucks. Shucks, hang on. Whatever, I'll be in a city soon enough. You pull out a quantity of your cheese and bread and eat it quickly. The night's darkness draws in around you. In the distance, you hear screams and whoops from the village that only slowly fade. You feel lonely, distanced from such revelry. You rest your head on your backpack and close your eyes. Perhaps a few hours pass, when you wake suddenly, aware of a shadow moving through the tree trunks. It turns and sniffs at the air. A wolfhound. Hang on one sec. Spooky! I mean, that's the same one earlier that was the bat, but you know what? It's fine. Hang on. Just adjusting my clothes. Cast a spell! Wizardry! Hunting with magic! Sorcery! Logic. Yeah, I can cause dancing. Maybe. But I kind of want to also kill it. Big. Nah, jig. Whatever. You raise the spell, and when it's ready, you take out the bamboo flute and play a sweet and merry tune. The stupid wolfhound finds itself racing in circles and curling up into an absurd little ball. You play long enough and energetically enough that it eventually falls asleep upon the stone. You hurry in the other direction to find yourself a new spot to camp. Then, once satisfied, you lay down to try to sleep. Your dreams are filled with walking, with peaks and valleys and endless paths. A curious light plays across them, building walls to heights before ruining them as it moves away. And above them all, there is a warning. Beware the Black Lotus. Okay. You rise early from your spot beneath the tree. You rejoin the path on the far side of Brititanti. The sun sits on the horizon like a gleaming jewel. If all goes well, you will reach Torapani today, the last village on the Shamutanti Hills. After a short climb, the path breaks, heading uphill and left, downhill to the right. Uphill on left and downhill to the right. Yeah, with Torapani so close, it hardly matters which direction you go. I mean, that way, looks like a field of black flowers. I've kind of been warned the entire time. Yeah, sure. Let me see if I can get anything out of it. The path slopes gently downwards through a shrubby forest and across patches of dry, weary earth. The Shamutanti Hills are relatively verdant compared to the backlands beyond the Jabaji River. And you can see their influence of the influence of that desolation already creeping into the soil like a spreading infection. Then, as you rise, a powerful, pleasant smell reaches your nostrils, and you see off to your path, your right path, see off to your right a path through a field of beautiful black flowers. Try using magic. You ready a spell. You clear your mind, trying to ignore the smell rising from the field, and ready a spell. Cast it. Cast Stink Spell. Stink Spell. Yo, I can cast Stink Spell. Fuck yeah. You cast the spell, quickly moving to your nose plugs before you complete the final binding of enchantment. But you are quite safe from the stink when your nose plug is in. Walk right on through. The field is wide and thick with flowers, and beautiful enough in some ways. Then when you're halfway through, your foot crunches on something. Look down. You stop to look down. There's a bone in your boot. A human arm bone. Next to it a skeleton. The skull has flowers beneath its jaws. Something is very wrong here. You keep going. The far side is in sight. You clear the other side of the field unharmed. Alright, well, I mean, if I don't get anything out of it, I'm gonna see what happens on the other way. Choose a path. Yoop. Climb a rise, the way is not too steep, and the moon soon as noon approaches, you have crested the ridge and are descending yet again. You are now at the highest point of the hills, where the trees are thin and the view goes on forever, and sometimes you catch glimpses of Carré on the northern horizon. Stop and eat, or nah, just keep going. You decide not to stop to eat, but push on. A line of trees approaches, the shadows between the trunks deep and threatening. And then you are under the canopy, and it takes your eyes a moment to adjust. You come to a dead stop. Something is moving in the trees behind you. A moment later, a point of steel has emerged from the darkness between the trees and touches your neck. "You've seen me," whispers a voice. "I know it." Answer. "I saw nothing," you call back. "You are quite safe." "It is not I who is safe," returns the voice. Ask who's there. "Who's there?" There is no reply, but the dark figure of an assassin emerges from the trees. He is dressed head to toe in black, and you have not seen him a moment before, even though he had been standing a mere arm's length away. He wields a sharp scimitar in his expert hands. "Cast a spell! Now that he is ahead of me, he is in my mercy." Just fucking zap him? Fix? Cause fixedness. Walk. Okay, maybe. Zap. Okay. I mean, there is zap. I can just fucking shock him. No, but I'm pretty sure he becomes an important character if he stays alive. I barely remember, but maybe? Alright. Walk. Zoo! Abracadabra! You lay a gold piece on your wrist and cast a spell. The gold melts into your flesh with a burning sensation, and a shield blossoms into its place. I don't actually know what the shield does, but, I'm gonna go ahead and for, 5.5, figuring he... Ah, well, useless. Dummy. He spins, The assassin nods at you and raises a curved sword in salute, then takes his position. You measure the weight of your sword, then bring it up to deliver a cleaving blow. The assassin covers himself. He then spins his sword about to shift the sword across his body. I believe that's probably a block? Fuck! Oof! Owie! Ooey! Ow! Alright, that's fine. I gotta get used to his patterns. The assassin laughs. With your blades close, you are ready to parry, but as he catches you with a passing slice across your cheek, you're dazed and stumble. Sorry. Closing his eyes, he murmurs a quiet prayer as he sets his stance. Another fucking I swore. Spinning his swords about, the assassin lands their slicing blows. 3 slicing blows. I need more coffee. You defend as best you can. Sweat trickles. Alright, he probably can't do any more than like a 4.7, sure. God dang it! Boy just knows when I'm gonna block. When I'm gonna attack. Time to attack! You swing your sword fast towards his chest, but the impact clings against his turned sword. He grins. He is left breathless but otherwise unharmed. The assassin swivels his grip. The weapon sings as it moves. Big strike. Big! Get him! The trees watch as the battle unfolds. Relentlessly, you cut and thrust, keeping him pinned. You rush forward with a deep, heavy slash, but the blow you land is only minor because the assassin has adjusted his stance swiftly. You knock the assassin staggering into a tree. He seems almost surprised that he's been hurt. That's not how it went. Breathing deeply, he whispers a mantra as he readies his blade. Oofy! Yeah, I'm gonna be restarting this one anyway. Flicks his blade through the air, crouching as he moves. Okay. Crouching as he moves. Yeah. Oh, shucks, I actually probably could have overpowered that. Yo, it seems like the shield prevents me from taking damage. Turns about, crouching as he moves. Neat. Okay, that's what it does, I guess. Lay a gold piece on your wrist. Alright, so I believe last time the first thing he did was block, so I'm gonna go ahead and for like 1 point. Go for a jab. Yeah. That's strategy, baby. Assassin nods at you. You begin with a quick stab, expecting the assassin to be cautious at first. He covers himself. He is left breathless but otherwise unharmed. My duty is to sever your head from your neck, he tells you in a voice cold as polished marble. You will not hold me from it. Alright, then he goes for like a big one, right? Yeah! The trees watch as the battle unfolds. Relentlessly, you cut and thrust, keeping him pinned. Closing his eyes, he murmurs a quick prayer. Probably can't go higher than 5.8. Hey, yeah, fuck yeah. You send him hurrying backwards. You swing a masterful strike. The assassin's breath is coming out in short gasps. He closes his eyes for a moment to steady himself. The assassin spins about to shift the sword across his body. He probably can't overpower me with this. Yes! Nice. Cleverly, you read his intent and attack efficiently. You swing your blade low and fast, saving your energy. He is off balance and moving slowly, and the blade goes deep. He turns and tumbles, releasing his sword as he topples. I am not so proud as to not admit when I am beaten, he groans. You must finish me if you choose, but if you do me an honor and use my own blade. The assassin is not dead, but lies on the floor, gasping. Spare him. Then get up, you tell him, holding your sword back, but not putting it away yet. He nods and sheathes his own blade. You are an honorable man. I am glad to meet you. Now that you have saved me, you own me in part. My name is Flanker, an assassin and a thief. Khajiit. Why did you attack me? It is a simple matter. I pick on wayfarers for practice and killing. I assumed you would be no match, but I see I was wrong. He bows his head once more, perhaps respect, perhaps from the pain of his injuries. Are you traveling to Kare? Why do you ask? That is the way I am going. Perhaps I will see you again, once we part now. But if I do, remember me. I will not forget the debt I owe you. Okay, I will remember you. I will remember you. He bows his head again. This time it is definitely from pain. Go! He hisses. You cannot aid me. Help him. No! You reply. I have caused your wounds. I will help you. He grins with gritted teeth. Are you a doctor? I do not think you are. Bind his wounds. Ah. Tearing strips of dark fabric from his clothing, you bind his wounds tightly, and the bleeding lessens. You are too kind a man. You are too kind to a man who is about to kill you, he murmurs. Let that be your lesson, you reply, as you gather up your things and head back to the forest, leaving him behind. You have a sense that you have just made a powerful friend. Hell yeah. Half of that I didn't even remember. I don't think I've ever gotten the option to bind his wounds before. Whatever. Either that or it's just been too long for me to remember. You continue along the path to the side of the hill. A wooden hut is set into the slope with an old woman sitting on the front step. I've got good history with witches and old huts. Excuse me. A river seems to emerge from beneath her. As you get closer, you realize the water flows underneath her house. And the house that's set is... the house itself is set on sprayed sluts. Oops. Splayed struts. Like an insect straddling the watercourse. Listen, say it 5 times fast. Alright? At 3 a.m. A few paces from the front of the house, the water plunges over the edge of a sheer cliff and disappears. Greet the woman. Greetings, you call. The woman looks up at you and smiles. Come over here, won't you? I can barely see you. Miriam? You approach the old woman. She smiles a toothless smile and gets up from the step. Come in, please, she beckons. I get so lonely living out here on my own, away from the villagers. Go inside, sure. Thank you. You follow her inside and take a seat at a long table. I'll bring us some tea. She sounds almost nervous. Hurrying into her kitchen, she returns with 2 large cups. Make conversation. The tea is still hot. You cup it between your hands as you speak. This is a beautiful place, you remark, watching the river outside the door plunging away at the cliff face. This is the top of the crystal waterfall, she says. The river runs right under my house. They say it carries all my goodness and youth away where I sleep. The villagers bathe in it for luck, gross. She giggles meanly. I'm sure it isn't quite true. Why do you live alone? It must be more dangerous. Oh, she smiles sweetly. No one bothers about me. Why would they? I can't help but notice she has not answered the question. What's your name? They call me Gazamoon, she replies with a smile. I used to be quite well known in my youth. You nod, but you have never heard of her. You make to sip your tea when the old woman stops you, catching your arm before the cup reaches your lip. Oh, she says suddenly, I've forgotten the pot. She goes back to the kitchen to fetch it. Make a run for it. Drink my tea. I don't want to kill the old woman. Like, if she's got some kind of witch magic making the waterfall do Healy, I don't want to. I got like a colony of plague victims coming up there. Go ahead and drink my tea. Lift your mug. Oh, they actually healed me. Blow away the steam and take a sip as the old lady returns. The old lady lifts her own mug and takes a deep gulp. Your tea was gently refreshing. Then she sputters and coughs and grips her side. Oh no! Help her! Something wrong? Oh, no! She replies, trying to smile, but clearly doubled up in pain. Stumbling and almost falling, she staggers into her kitchen and gulps down another drink. When she returns, she seems much better again. Ha! I'm not as young as I was, she explains. All the same, she pushes her tea to one side. But tell me about you. You're a traveler? Yes. I'm going to Carre. She claps her hands. How wonderful! Such a delightful city. Indeed, you answer. Tell me, on your journey you didn't happen across an old man, did you? Yeah. Not just any old man, she insists. This one was carrying a page from a spell book. Show her the page. You pull the spell page from your pack and her eyes light up. Giggling with glee, the witch snatches it. What's the spell? It's a spell of pest repulsion. You have no idea how useful it is around here. What kind of pest? Hang on. Nope. Items. Spell page. Shucks, I forgot to read the spell page first. Hang on. Let's do the time warp again. Make conversation. What's your name? Nope, this is a beautiful place. Why do you live alone? What's your name? Drink your tea. Help her. Yes. Yes. Wait. Okay, now check the items. I forgot to read it. Other items? Nope. Magic items? Yes, examine. CA. Okay. Show her the page. Spell. You have no idea how useful it is around here. She shakes her head. 4 days ago, I was visited by a traveler, just as yourself, but when I was making away my tea, as I always do, he started leafing through my book and tore out a page.
He must have been a wizard of power, because he vanished almost too fast for me to curse him.
What curse did you cast? Will you uncurse him now? What curse did you cast?
Well, you saw him. I aged him. Didn't stop him escaping, though.
She fusses with the page, repairing her spellbook with some gentle magic. No. I want to see if she'll uncurse him. I want to help it. I want to help a brother out. I want to help my fellow, Analan champion out. Go inside. Time warp again. A conversation. Shucks. Why do you live alone? Okay, it doesn't matter what order I ask in. Drink my tea. Help her. Yes. Yes. Show her page. What's the spell? Will you uncurse him?
Well, she looks a little uncomfortable. I rather think it might be too late. I aged him almost 130 years, you see. I wanted to slow him down, but instead I sped him up.
She fusses with the page. Shucks. I was hoping I could get some. I got stamina out of it. It is now late afternoon. You pass over the brow of the next hill, and below you is the village of Torapani, slung from one side of the valley to the next like a flood barrier. Observe it. Torapani is the village of the Svin, an aggressive-looking race of man-orcs. You might expect their village to be rowdy, but it seems strangely quiet. Go in. Still, there's no way around it. Alright, what's up, my boys? Why ain't you doing orc stuff like headbutting each other and fist-fighting to solve arguments? And kidnapping random halflings. And that's something orcs do, right? You enter the village. There's a definite air of depression hanging over this place. The Svins are going about their business slowly and miserably, and pay you no heed. You sit yourself down on a tree stump at the very center of the village to consider your options. Make contact with the villagers. You spy a group of Svins sitting outside a low hut, and you walk over to sit yourself down. They are discussing a friend, apparently killed in the night by an assassin's curved blade. Oof! I met this assassin, you remark, out in the forest.
You meet him? You still alive?
I killed him. The Svin spits a glob of green goop onto the ground.
You do good, but you one day late for us.
Another Svin bangs his hand down on the table.
But with this doubt, who saved Tia?
Who's Tia?
A flower.
The Svin who answers wipes a tear from his eye, scratching himself painfully with an uncut fingernail.
Tia is Chief's daughter,
the other Svin says.
Esh was to save her. Now Esh not alive, so Tia not alive.
I'll save her.
You? You thin and weak, not even green. Trouble is, another says, our village die if Chief Blindhead. Tia is end, so ends if we end. All very sad. Very sad,
they all agree.
Who you?
One asks suddenly, as if only just thinking of it. Warrior, sorcerer.
Sorcerer?
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 A sudden gleam enters the biggest one's eyes.
Great sorcerer?
I do my best.
Best is good. Meke, Tifa.
He signals to the others, who are quickly on their feet, a big hefty arms swinging towards you.
We take to Chief.
Before you can resist, they are hauling you bodily onto their shoulders. Yeah, all right. Just wait. Just wait to see what happens. You hold your tongue and wait to see where they're taking. I'll just see where this is going. You pass through the village. Several Svins are watching from the doorways and windows, their faces silent and somber. A few murmur blessings, or maybe curses, as you pass. You then reach a low hut on the edge of the village. You set down carefully. Captured? I'm not sure I would really call it that. I kind of willingly went. The door is slammed and locked. A moment later, it reopens, and your possessions are thrown inside. Just wait to see what happens. You pull your knees up to your chest and wait. The long watches of the night pass slowly, and in the end, nothing happens and no one comes. The aching in your empty belly gnaws at you. Yeah, you know what? I'll eat a snack. I don't want my stamina to lower. Good time to eat my lunch. Safe, nothing can sneak up on me. Nothing else happens. Try to sleep, I guess. Figuring they will probably now wait until daylight, you put your head down to sleep. Your dreams are filled with grasping hands and long dark nails scratching at your flesh. However much you toss and turn on the floor, you can't quite get out of them in your mind. Get them out of your mind, rather. I guess both? Daybreak. You're still alone. An hour passes before you hear any noise outside, and then the door to the hut opens, and 5 Sphinx come in. They drag you roughly across the floor and onto the street and to another hut, where an old man with gray hair sits. He's wearing outlandish, colorful robes.
My name, Procyon, Chief.
He slaps his chest twice.
I apologize.
He then bows, brushing the dust on the floor with his sleeves. Rush him? Apology accepted. The chief nods. He waves to a menial who brings you bread and milk. Sure, eat it. More food is good. Gratefully, you bolt down the meal. It does not seem to be poisoned, and it nourishes you. The bowl is removed, and the chief squats down in a pool of cloth.
I have need of you and your strength.
I will help if I can. The chief bows.
I am grateful. My daughter, my child, she is taken, offered to a terrible demon below.
I will try or die trying. The chief claps you on the shoulder with a clawed hand. He gestures you to the other Sphinx, who, still talking, still taking no chances, grab you by the arms and haul you to your feet. Great, dude. Fantastic. Yeah, sure. Oh, hey, I'm right by Carre. You are led along a short pathway through the forest. That doesn't look very foresty. Whatever. To a crack in the ground. One Sphin has brought a rope and another a basket. They are preparing to lower you down into the pit of the earth itself. Take the adventure. Yeah, sure. You wait until they are ready, then step into the basket. The chief nods to you with respect.
Watch the darkness,
he declares as they lower you down. You hit the floor with a thud and peer into the darkness. Your eyes make out nothing but a slight breeze. But a slight breeze suggests endless space in all directions. You are blind, helpless, and trapped. Something clatters to your feet from above. One of the Sphinx shouts something down to you. Feel around on the ground for whatever it is. Feel around at your feet until your hand closes on the base of something. You pick it up. It's a dry wood torch. Something else falls on you from above and strikes you in the head.
Tinderbox!
He calls the voice. Feel around for the tinderbox. Rubbing the bruise on your head, you reach down to find the tinderbox. Light the torch. Whatever. There's Sphinx. Below. You can see now that you're in a large cavern, wide and deep. The far end passageways disappear left and right. Through an uneven rockfall at the far end of the cavern, you hear a murmur. Uneven rockfall at the far end of the cavern. Listen by the rocks. You clamber over the rocks and to the edge of the cavern to investigate the sound. It's a whimpering coming from the other side of a pile of stones. The Sphin girl, perhaps. She came in this way, but then the cave-in blocked off her path. You'll have to find another way to reach her. Alright. Go left. Sure. I'm going to try to go around. I got a mental map. I'm good at mental maps. You go left. You creep slowly into the darkness, ears straining from the sound of approaching threat. The passageway slopes down a short way, then ends in a T-junction. 2 stones are stacked on top of each other against the wall here. Examine the stones. There's nothing special about the 2 stones, except they happen to be on top of one another. Alright, 2 stones is right here. Okay, turn right now. Here the cave system widens. Pendulous stalactites hang from the ceiling, as if about to fall and skewer you in place. You skirt between them, following them in a safe path, until a side passage opens on the left. Go straight ahead. You push on. The passage rises up a gentle incline. At the top, a thick crystal seems to glisten in the torchlight, and a passageway appears on the right. Look at the crystal. The seam seems to be made of pure diamond. It was no doubt the quest of that these tunnels were carved in, but why is no one mining them now? Dig them out. You try to pry some diamonds loose from the incredible seam in the rock, but your sword is not up to the task, and you only make it blunt. You could perhaps return with a proper pick, but only if you escape the tunnels first. Alright, go right. Then you take the right-handed tunnel. You then see a spot of sunlight up ahead and rush forward, only to find yourself back beneath the crack in the ceiling through which you came. What? How's that work? Hang on, what? What? The fuck? You're soon backed by the crystal seam. Huh? Go right? Okay. Move through the opening in the wall. You walk down a passage for several minutes and then slip on some dirt, and the ground at your feet gives way. You hidden pit. Land on something soft. Look around. Ah! Ah! Not yet counting your luck. You look around, and sure enough, you are out of the frying pan and into the reptile den. You're in a pit of snakes.
Whose magic, of course.
God. What do you think I am? I guess law is a logical one. Pop could explode the snakes. Law, F. Nope. Zap. No? If I had a medallion, I could hover, but alright. Law is obvious. Control non-intelligent creatures. Cast the spell. Cast a spell and feel the snakes come under your command. Ask them to help. You command the snakes to approach. They slither nearer and nearer, and then they begin to climb the walls, holding themselves erect until they form a living ladder. That's so silly. Test it. You tug at the lowest rung. The snake seems firm. Okay, climb it. You steel your courage and climb quickly back up to the tunnel above. Back on firm ground, you watch as a spell leaves and the snakes tumble, snapping, hissing hungrily, back to the cavern floor. You're soon back by the crystal seam, which splits the wall on the left. So wait, this is the T section, crystal seam. I came from straight on. What? Straight on? You're back in the chamber of stalactites? Perhaps it's the same. Crawl space gapes to your right. After a few minutes walk on the shadow incline, you begin to hear something in the distance. A low rumbling. Turn and run? You turn and run, but not fast enough. The tumbling gets louder and louder until you look over your shoulder to see an enormous boulder speedily rolling down the hill tunnel towards you. Magic? Magic? Wall, but that's 3 more stamina. Fall? Float in the air? Fix would cause the boulder to just stop completely. Gum? Yeah, you know, I do have gum. Wall, I guess I'll try wall, and if that doesn't do anything unique, I will... Very loud. If that doesn't do anything unique, I will try, praying? Oh, actually, fuck. Oh, I would have to restart the entire thing. Oof. Better be careful with my choices here. You cast your spell just in time. A great boulder, invisible wall with considerable force, causing the whole cave to shake. Then the boulder holds in place like a pawing horse. But your spell will not last long. Your spell... go left, go right. Relative to what? Turn and run. You go right. After a few minutes walk up a shallow incline, you hear something rolling in the distance. Turn and run, but not fast. So, would turning back take me towards the boulder? I begin to hear it rumbling again? Right to my spirit? Spirit of the gorilla, I feel the peace of the wilderness enter you. The boulder slows and catches, and invisible brakes make it slow. Not enough to stop it coming, but enough to give you a chance. With a final burst of speed, you race down the hallway and jump left, narrowly avoiding the barrel as it crashes loudly and violently into the wall. Mere inches from where you were standing. You pick yourself up and dust yourself down. Ugh. You are soon by the crystal seam with a wide passage, breeze, gentle wind. Alright, right. Sunlight. Alright, just go the opposite direction. Onwards, tunnel, the ground seems to dip. Lowest passage you find, finish another port. Alright, how about, there's a stacked pair of stones here as well. Alright, go left. Carved by a river long since dried away, you lose all sense of which way is which, except going forward, where the path you're creeping forks again. Left. You see an opening in the left wall. Suddenly more difficult, you realize that the tunnel is climbing at quite a sharp gradient. Little stones rattle and roll away downwards into the dark. At the highest point, the winding seems to reach a split. As you enter, 2 stones roll away down the slope. Left. The cave walls crush in close, as though the rock is squeezing you to death. Your shoulders rub against the walls. When you feel certain you can go further, the cavern flickers in the torchlight and branches once more. 2 more stones are well, that's where you hear a whimpering coming from the corridor. Your torchlight falls across a frail shape. Hey, nice! Hiding in the shadows is a young Sphene girl, stacking stones into hundreds of little towers. Look for traps. You run the torchlight around the walls. No switches and triggers that you can see. The girl watches you with silent fear. Then the torchlight falls on a deep scratch in the rock, a claw mark. Suddenly there is a loud roaring from the mouth of the short cavern. The walls begin to shake and crumble. The Sphinx stone towers topple and scatter. To one side, a gap in the rubble begins to open, letting through a mean shaft of light. Excuse me, that's not appropriate. But before you can head for it, the roaring sound is joined by a scream from the Sphene girl. You turn slowly and peer into the gloom back along the tunnel. Is there something moving? Something coming closer? Perhaps the roaring is the wind rustling through the tunnels. Something is coming. Oh no, the spooky! That's on the cover of the book. Oh, the spooky thing! You hear the scrabbling sound of claws on rock and the exit tunnel is blocked by a dark, looming shape. A manticore, a huge, terrible. It stands between you and the light and howls in bloody rage. Use magic again! Cast a spell. Hang on, there was a riddle about manticores, right? Hang on. See him through, though he sees you not. A stinging beast and box not left. To guard a key is his lot. To goal a witch of luck bereft. Oh. Okay, I don't get it. Let's keep playing. Nope. Fog, maybe. Doze, dop. Open locks and doors. Dud. Dumb. Cause clumsiness. Sure, baby. That's the spell I'll go for. Stop. I'm trying to talk. Jesus. Dumb. You complete your enchantment, and the manticore seems to stagger and trip, one foot colliding with the other, and its sting becoming tangled in its wings. You have slowed it down. If you draw your sword now, you will have an advantage, or you have gained yourself more time for further sorcery. More sorcery, of course! God! Ye gods! Yep. Yup. Summon a giant. Nope. Gob. Summon a goblin. Hot. Now I can hot. Wait, how much stamina do I have? Because I might hot. Yeah, sure, hot. End of the chapter? Fucking hot it, baby. God, I swore. Hot fireball. You cast the spell, creating a huge fireball. You fling it at the beast. It makes the damp rock wall sizzle as it flies before striking the creature in the side. It roars out in pain. The manticore roars, making the walls of the chamber shake, but listening closely, you can hear a note of fear in its too human voice. It is still a beast of ferocious strength, but you have weakened it. You will have to make this next and final spell matter, or take it to task with your sword. I should have really... Maybe casting clumsiness wasn't the best idea. Pop. Bam! Throw pebble. You cast the spell quickly over one of your pebbles and lob it towards the creature. It strikes the side in a vicious explosion of fur and blood. Yeah, sure, throw another. Seizing your advantage, you enchant a second pebble and hurl it at the creature. It hits the creature on the neck in a fireball of blood and feathers. Throw another. You launch a third pebble. It strikes the manticore full in the face, its mane catching alight. Crackles of energy streak along its back to the tail, which turns black and explodes in a fountain of mucus and shell. The Sphin Girl shields her head, and so do you, but nothing can protect your ears from the dying scream of the cave demon. It is shouting loud enough to bring the walls down, cursing in a guttural human tongue. Finish it. You step forward and plunge your sword into its heart. The only noise in the chamber is the hammering of your heart and the quiet breathing of the Sphin Girl. Thank you, the Sphin Girl murmurs, then tugging at your arm. This way! She leads you toward the light, through a gap in the rocks, to the pool of sunlight in the first cavern. Escape time! You wave the torch, hoping to attract attention. Tell the girl to call up. Girl, call to your father! The Sphin Girl nods mutely, then bawls at the top of her lungs. Process! I'm here! Then something drops down, a rope with a basket on the end. Get in, together! The chief calls from above. We'll pull you both up. Send the girl up first. You lift the girl into the basket and call up. Haul away! The Sphinx Girl give a great cry and begin to pull, and the basket starts to slowly rise, spinning as it goes. The girl waves to you as she disappears into the sunlight. Then she is gone. Wait. A minute passes. Nothing. Call up. Throw down the rope! Nothing. The tunnel echoes very slightly. A noise from the depths. Perhaps the manticore was not alone. Wait a little longer. Wait a little longer, settling down on your pack. You can imagine the celebration going on above, the tears, the grateful reunion. No surprise if they lose track of you down here in the dark. And then, sure enough, the basket and the rope tumble down. You clamber in quickly and they haul you up. Above ground, the chief himself helps you onto the grass. His daughter is with him, clutching his hand. My daughter tells you fight bravely, he says. For that I am grateful. I invite you with us back to Torapani. Will you come? At least I get a choice now. Jeez. Hang on one sec. Neat music. This art style is weird, dude. A little generosity cannot hurt you. You nod. I will come. As you enter the village, it erupts into celebration. You are given a place to stay and recuperate from your long journey. A visit to the healing priest treats your wounds, and you emerge. And when you emerge, it is to find the village, before so somber and silent, now in full life. Flowers are tied to every rooftop, and the bands of spin are playing music on long, strangely shaped lyres. Can you hear the singing? Is it too quiet? You are whisked away to into the dance by Proceus's daughter before the chief can welcome you to feast. Oh my god, 50 gold? Bro! That night you sleep heavily, and rise the next morning to continue your journey. The chief meets you before you go.
My good friend, he declares, you have saved us.
He presses 2 gifts into your hand. A pouch of gold pieces, a fortune for a place like this, and a key.
This open the South City Gate of Carre, he tells you. I hope it is use.
You perform one last transaction before you go, exchanging your emeralds for 24 further gold pieces with the chief. It is a much safer way to carry valuables, as you can stash them around your body, in your boots, under your belt. Then it is time to leave. Neat. You take your leave. The path winds away from Torapani, and soon you are on the downward slope, down to the Shamatanti Hills, though through stepped rice fields. There we go. Oh, I need to take a breather after this. I'm stumbling all over my words. As you walk, you feel for the first time the loneliness of the path ahead. Though Carre is a very busy city, it is cruel, and beyond Carre there is nothing but a vicious wasteland. You will have no one to trust in the days ahead. Walk on. For a brief moment, up on the hills above in the path, you fancy seeing a figure stealing his way along a high and secret route. A figure all in black. But when you shade your eyes against the sun, whatever was there has disappeared. In the distance, the wall of a great city. The first true stonework you have seen since you left home. Neat. Road, yes. Sweet music, dude. Hey! Yeah! Okay. Your journey through the Shamatanti Hills is completed. Along the way, you have gained the friendship of Flanker the Assassin and been given the key to the gates of the city of Ray. Hiccup. You have collected some magical artifacts, a large lump of beeswax, a cloth skullcap, a vial of glue, nose plugs, 1 pebble. Wait, really? I thought I used all 3. And a bamboo pipe. You are still armed with only your original sword and have 1 ration and 50 gold pieces and a spellbook. You're not going to tell me whether the boy got safe? Got my friends in the plague village done? I got hiccups. Let me go ahead and copy that down. Hang on. Imagine using passwords. VYQEPY. There, got it. Continue. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to see this next time. Bye-bye.